go from there. All right. Um, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our lovely guest, Rosie. Rosie Gualiardo, I finally learned how to say your name, Rosie, perfectly, is a certified life coach and career coach, a best-selling author, and a founder of Inner Brilliance Coaching. She specializes in supporting high performers shift from burnout to hustle in an energy-driven success, where aligned energy fuels sustainable performance and well-being. Before launching her coaching practice, Rosie built an 18-year career in advertising, working on brands such as McDonald's, Unilever, and Anheuser-Busch's adventure parks. Today, she brings that same strategic insight to her coaching, guiding clients to align their mindset, energy, and actions to achieve results better than imagined. She combines her Northwestern psychology degree and experience with Forbes Coaches Council, along with neuroscience and holistic energy practices to help professionals across a variety of industries. And we're so happy to have her back. Rosie has done several workshops for us, and they're always wonderful. So, Rosie, take it away.
Thanks so much, Marissa. Welcome, everyone, to our webinar From Burnout to Brilliance, where we're going to talk about creating a blueprint for your wellness that actually fuels your success. So, if you're someone who's been feeling maybe a little depleted or overwhelmed or like just something's missing, this conversation is for you. And I know many of us might be in the middle of a career transition, so hopefully this will create a really powerful foundation for you. And the reason I say that is because today we're exploring a new paradigm for success. One where your energy, not your effort, becomes your greatest asset. Now, you still need effort, but we're going to help you find a way where it becomes inspired and exciting to move forward. Now, I've worked with clients who've made some really powerful shifts, like this one client who felt stuck in his family's insurance business, and now he is finally stepping into his dream of working in the music industry. We both can't even believe it sometimes. The best part is he's actually enjoying the journey and the process of achieving this goal. He's not just rushing toward it. And that's what I call becoming a happier high achiever. And that's what I want for you too. So with that, I just want to make sure people know, if you've just got on, if you look in the chat, we have a link to the Play Sheets playbook. It's basically a workbook, but I think it sounds like more fun when we call it a play sheet. So with that, hopefully you can find it and you can just follow along as we go through the process today. So before we dive in, I do want to see how you're feeling these days and what's coming up for you as you go through your day-to-day. So if you could share in the chat whatever resonates with you. And I want to just know, do any of these sound like you? And in general, what you'll see is maybe you start to feel frustrated while you're going through your day, or you're just kind of going through the motions, right? It's like, oh, I know I need to do this, so I'm shooting on myself. I should do this. I'll do it. That could look a bunch of different ways. That could look like maybe you're always on, even when you want to relax. Maybe you're getting things done, but you feel exhausted or you're snapping at people. Maybe you're even great at achieving things in certain areas of your life, but you know deep down you're wondering, what do I truly want? And that could be very true in your career. If you're in this phase of looking for something new, that could be very unsettling. Or maybe your mind is telling you, just keep pushing, keep going, even when you know you need rest. In particular, your body needs some rest. Or maybe you're getting results again in some areas of your life, but you just feel uninspired. Or this was a tough one too that I see a lot of people. They're getting results, but they doubt they can keep it going. Like, how much longer can I keep this up? So I'm going to check the chat, see what is coming up. Oh, you've got some great comments already. Or maybe, Marissa, it was your updates But I'll look here. Okay, you're feeling like working from home, and as a business owner, you feel guilty about not working more. Oh, I can relate to that. After the kids go to bed, right? Keep on going. There's always more to do. I was the same way. I thought I'd start my own business. It'd be easier than being in corporate America. Okay, Thomas, you're pulled in too many directions, not in control of the agenda. Totally appreciate that too. Right, there's just so much we could be doing. And I think with technology and the way our lives are going, it's just multiplying what we could be doing. Christine, you're feeling overwhelmed with new systems and new leadership, feeling like I can't learn this system fast enough. Yeah, just said that, right? So in alignment there. You're uninspired and not sure what I truly want. I get that. Overwhelmed and tired, too many to-dos, the judging of basic commitments, kid stuff, right? Pushing, 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 always feeling like, yeah. So many of you can relate to this. And yeah, Marissa, you pulled in a lot of directions. Absolutely. So if you can relate to any of this, which it sounds like you can, please know you're not alone. In fact, we could tell from the chat you're not alone. These are common signs that you're feeling burnout, which has actually been classified as a disease. It's an actual disease now. People recognize it that way. And what it really means is you're out of your energetic alignment. And while it might look like, oh, you're doing just fine on the outside, right? You're getting things done. Your inner world is telling you another story. It's saying you're depleted, you're disconnected, you're lacking clarity, which obviously can feel difficult as you go through your day-to-day life. Or on a deeper level, if you're desiring something different, like that loving relationship, or a career that lights you up, or health that energizes you. Or maybe you're just saying, I just want to be more present in my life. So, if again, any of this is relating to you, here's some good news. I want to share another way, one that doesn't sacrifice your well being for your success. Now, as someone who probably likes to get a lot of things done, and just from what you shared in the chat, I'm going to call you high achievers and high performers. We can still struggle, right? We can hear that, oh, there's a new way. But we've been taught, conditioned to rely heavily on the mental strategy and what I'm calling external validation, right? That approval from outside of ourselves. And we're taught that, oh, clarity comes first. I need to know absolutely everything. Then we take action. But real fulfillment doesn't follow a fixed path. In fact, I have many people ask me, hey, just tell me what to do. And I get it. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Because that's high achievers know to do that. And that's very understandable. They just want the answers fast. But that approach can leave you feeling disconnected from what you truly want. So instead of pushing harder and harder, I help my clients align their actions with their deepest desires. And that's where their best results and joy live, both. So this actually requires creating a unique path. And what I want to share is this quote, because it really inspired me and it helps me remember I need a unique path. If you can see your path laid out in front of you, step by step, you know it's not your path. Your own path you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path. Now, when I share this, I know it can feel inspiring. I hope it does. It also can feel daunting, right? Like, oh my gosh, great. Now I have to figure out one more thing. But I hope this sentiment creates the space for you to see how you can be the leader of your life. And really, so much is possible for you. And it also reminds us that our unique path is revealed over time and in the moment through action, not planning alone. I'm a big planner, but it can't just be all laid out in front of us. And sometimes that path doesn't follow the rules or the check boxes we've been trained to chase. So, my goal today is to help you start discovering your own true path, not someone else's version of success. And this quote really inspired me on my life journey. So, for those of you who don't know me, I thought it would be helpful if I briefly share how I've been following my own path and why it's so important for me to support others to feel aligned and energized as they go through their lives. And I hope by sharing my own story and approach, you'll see how it relates to you and we can show you a new way forward. So, as Marissa shared, my path started in the world of advertising. I was running these campaigns for McDonald's, Unilever. It's a very competitive world we lived in. And I was checking all the boxes in different areas of my life. I was married at the time, got promoted several times. I had this beautiful condo overlooking the lake. But underneath it all, I felt drained. And I realized my success was built on drive, that pushing energy, right? That logic and really pressure. What I now recognize as I was really relying too much on what I'm going to call masculine energy, and it wasn't sustainable. The shift came for me when I allowed my heart, my emotions, and my deeper truth to enter into the equation of my life. So, what that means is I began integrating what I'm calling feminine energy, my intuition, my ability to receive, my joy. And as I did, my life transformed. I created a business I love, I have relationships that light me up, and a way of living that energizes me daily. So, the truth is really what I discovered, and now I help my clients embody more, is that lasting success doesn't come from that force energy, right? That pressure pushing energy. It comes from being in alignment. And when you integrate your heart and your mind, or what I called earlier, your masculine and your feminine energy, you experience what I call aligned success. And let me be clear, we need both. We've just had an over reliance, I think, especially in our culture, on the masculine. So, what that looks like is your mind supports your heart's wisdom, your structure supports your softness. And when you start with or lead with your heart, or what I'm calling your truth, and you have that system to support it, again, that structure for support, you start to flow through your life and you fuel your next steps. And my favorite part is you start to magnetize results instead of forcing them. And success starts to feel more fulfilling. It's not just impressive, right? It doesn't just look good on the outside. So I hope you can see that success doesn't require burnout. It actually requires mastering your energy. And this is really the foundation of what I call the energy driven success method. It's something I created, and it really helps create a life and career led by your truth and not your to do list. So I'm excited to share this approach with all of you. It's really a heart driven approach. And again, it starts with you by connecting within and discovering your truth. And when I'm working with clients in my programs, we actually also tune into how to connect with others and ultimately apply all of these learnings, meaning what you've learned about your truth, who you are, what you've learned about connecting with others. And we take all of that and apply it to your world to allow your best path to unfold before you. But given our timing today, we're just at the beginning. We're just learning how to reconnect with your truth. You know it, it's there. So we want to make sure that you can access it. And what it's going to look like is you're going to stop shooting on yourself. You're going to start listening to your whole self, your body, your mind, and your heart. And you're going to move forward from aligned energy and not pressure. Why I think this approach really works is because it blends so many different modalities, from neuroscience to psychology to strategic action and even ancient wisdom, into that holistic system I just mentioned, the energy driven success method. And I want you to know this isn't just about abandoning ambition, right? It's about aligning it so it's aligned with your truth. So with that, we can get started. Just gonna take a drink here. Marissa, I don't know if we want to do you see someone's? I'll let you figure that out. So for today's agenda, I'm sharing some different tools and a unique blueprint to help you feel more connected to where you are in your life while supporting you in taking your next aligned steps. So here's our flow for today. I'm going to walk you through the energy-driven success method and the concept of your foundation for wellness. And it's designed to help you align again with your truth and your heart's wisdom. Then we'll do an exercise to help you tune in and connect with your truth. Next, we'll explore how to integrate these insights. So they're not just ideas. I want to give you actual tools you can use. And finally, I'll share a next step opportunity and a powerful gift that builds on the blueprint you can create today, or at least we could get started. And just a reminder that I'll use some simple examples in our discussions today, but feel free to personalize as we go. We make this relevant and real for you. With that said, before we actually dive into your truth, I just want to talk about what supports it. And that is your foundation for wellness. Because if this foundation for wellness is shaky, it's hard to access your truth or really follow through on your goals. So what we're going to do now is explore what your foundation for wellness includes, why it matters, and how it can truly change your life. Overall, your foundation for wellness taps into your health to understand what you need in this present moment to support your well-being. So you can not only make progress, right? That's what I want to help people do, is fuel your next steps from your truth, but it's going to help you be resilient, because as we all know, life's going to happen. We can't control everything. Trust me, I've tried. And I always joke with my clients, when I figure out that program, I will let you all know. But in the meantime, we need to create a system that supports us so that we can recover. And I want you to know that this foundation for wellness isn't a one size fit all, but it will be holistic, like I said earlier. And it's made up of 4 core components of your health: your physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental aspects. And when these 4 areas are supported, you're not just functioning, you're thriving. And what I've seen is that when they're out of sync, that's when success starts to feel like a struggle, right? It's when the results are hard to get and you're draining yourself, and it almost becomes this downward spiral. But if you can pay attention to each of these elements, you create what I like to say is that high performance energy, but without the burnout. And again, that resilience that opens up your life to more possibilities and to results that actually feel really good. Because again, I think some of us are getting results, but if we're feeling exhausted, that's not really helpful. So with that, we're going to look at each one. Here's a quick overview of all of them and understanding these 4 aspects, and then we'll dive in deeper. So your physical is what you imagine, right? It's your body. It's your energy vessel. Emotional are your feelings, your intuition, and really your life force for moving forward. Mental can be what it sounds like, right? Your thoughts, your beliefs, your focus. And spiritual is your connection to your purpose. It can be a connection to people, or really just the bigger picture in your life. And when you bring awareness to how you're showing up in each of these areas, again, you can recover more quickly and return to your truth and your wholeness. And what I think is really interesting is you'll notice these aspects also connect to the masculine and the feminine energy. So I'll show you what I mean by that, how it maps out to each of these elements. Again, like I said earlier, our culture tends to emphasize the doing energy, right? Push, push, push. And that maps to physical and mental aspects, right? Oh, get the workout in, think everything through, have the plan. So again, that's masculine energy, which we need, But when it takes over, it doesn't always support us. But when we bring in the emotional and spiritual energies, in other words, the feminine energies, we can access more of our presence, who we're being in the moment. We have access to integration and that deeper alignment that fuels us. And again, the truth is we do need both. So that's why my method honors the whole you. And at the end of the day, what I really hope you get from all of this and you walk away with is that we can shift from waking up and checking our emails first thing in the morning to first checking in with yourself. So, in a moment, we'll help you access how you're doing in each of these areas. But I do want to go a little deeper in each area to understand what balance, or obviously, really what imbalance looks like in these areas. Because with that detailed information, you can make decisions about what you need in the moment. I'm just reading the chat. Thanks, Alexandria, that you love the concept of energy. That's what I'm all about. My clients know I'm like, energy is everything. When we can create that understanding and alignment, we go in that upward spiral. So I love that. Okay, we're going to go into physical. Going a little quickly because I want to make up for some time. So if it's too fast, just let me know. So our physical system encompasses, again, this one's, I feel like, the most obvious. Our physical health, our ability, and even healing. Specifically, it can include endurance and strength, and what we typically would consider our energy. It can also include our skin, our brain, any organs, or I've heard this term and it just makes me laugh, so I'm sharing it with you. Our meat suit, right? Our suit of meat, as some would say. And it also includes any physical sensations similar to hunger or pain. Now, when your physical system is balanced, you feel healthy, energized, and even flexible. And then your body can actually support your goals. Now, notice I'm going to talk about, I'm not just going to say, oh, are you off balance? That's nice, but I want to give you more detailed information to understand how you can move forward. So you might either be underbalanced or overbalanced when it comes to physical. I'm going to explain what that means and then share some high-level tips. With my clients, I go much deeper, but I wanted to at least share these concepts so you could start thinking about it. When you're underbalanced in your physical aspect, your body might feel heavy or stressed or depleted. When you're overbalanced, there might be this energy of controlling everything, obsessing over a lot of different things. Like, I need the results fast. It could even be obsessing over strength or beauty, right? When we're putting too much emphasis on the outer. So some basic tips for balance here are to focus on sleep, movement, and whole foods, and even tools like Ayurveda. Those can, I don't know if you've heard of this, but I've really tuned into this because it helps rebalance your body so it's in service of your energy and not working against it, right? Because if we're depleted or focused on control, we're really working against ourselves. And for me personally, I know I want to feel more energized. So I make that effort through sleep, exercise, and nutrition to feel that way. And again, Ayurveda has been one of the most helpful medical systems as it addresses the actual imbalances in your mind and body constitution, and even in a person's consciousness level. So if you want to learn about Ayurveda, you can apply what you learn, in particular here with your physical aspect. There's actually a quiz you can take. If anyone's interested, let me know. But it's a really interesting process to go through and not very difficult, even though there's a little quiz. Next, we're talking about your emotional system. And that's really the bridge between your body and your thoughts and your mind. It's your general outlook in life. What is that for you? How do you move through this world? Do you have a positive outlook? And when you're feeling what people would identify as negative emotions, I'm using air quotes because I think all emotions are helpful. So even the ones we identify as negative. But do you notice, can you self-regulate? Or do you get stuck in a mood? This helps you understand your emotional system. When you're balanced, you feel open, generous, empathetic, and non judgmental. You're able to feel and move through emotions skillfully. Again, emotions are important. So you need to be able to feel them, not repress them, and move through them. When you're underbalanced in this area, there's a lack of emotional awareness or trust. I'm also sharing these. I know this is about you, but just if you're struggling with someone else in your life, you might notice that this is, they might be underbalanced or overbalanced in one of these areas. No judgment. It's just helping you understand we all are struggling perhaps in a different way. If you're overbalanced with emotions, which this can happen, you may feel overwhelmed or unstable. In fact, you might be passive and then get quickly aggressive or obsessive, right? It's the quickness of that shift. So, in this area, some tools I like to use with my clients to support them is with nervous system regulation and emotional agility. So, I have been studying nervous system regulation for years, and I love that it's so mainstream now. And emotional agility is so important. But there's just tips and tools you can use to help you immediately reset. It could be even some simple breathing techniques. And these are really key because they impact your experience, right? So we want you to be able to process and shift anything that's coming up, any energy, but do so in a healthy way, right? And I always tell my clients, we will all have emotions. You could either be in regulating them and aware of them, or if not, they're just going to come out any way they want, as we all know. So, next, we're talking about our mental system. This really governs your ability to focus, your beliefs, your decision making process. When it's balanced, you think clearly, you can problem solve pretty easily, and you feel mentally energized. When it's underbalanced, it looks like confusion, fog. It can even look like low self worth because those negative thoughts start to come in, right? The sabotaging thoughts come into play. If it's overbalanced, it may show up as overworking, being rigid, or even disconnected from others. So, what can help here are practices like reframing your thoughts, inner child work, or even talking to a therapist or coach to help bring more clarity and alignment to your life. And when you do that, especially when all of these modalities are paired with a clear sense of purpose, you really become alive. In fact, I know that I feel so excited. I know this sounds cheesy, but when I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to get my day started. And I know because I'm really clear and on purpose of what I need to do and where I want to go. And when we don't have that clear reasoning or purpose, we can feel in conflict within our mental system. It's harder to make decisions. And this, an example of this is it could happen if you're at a job or any type of organization that doesn't align with your values, with what's important to you. So I work with my clients to develop a life purpose statement to help them just feel more in alignment with their truth and have a sense of clear direction. So we go through specific exercises for that. Finally, we're at our spiritual system. And this, again, connects you to your purpose, even deeper into your intuition and your community, right? And that community might look different for everyone. When this spiritual aspect is balanced, it brings calm, creativity, and flow. And it's that sense that you're co creating with something bigger than you. So, no, this isn't necessarily intended to be about religion. It could be those moments. I don't know if you've ever heard an actor or a writer talk about how they just were inspired and were able to have the words flow out if they're writing something. It could be when you're walking and on the beach and see a sunset, that feeling of inspiration and awe and knowing there's something bigger out there than you. Or it could just be you spending time with your family. Now, when this is underbalanced, it can feel like you're isolated or you have to be overly responsible for everyone and everything. Or you might feel a little cynical. When it's overbalanced, it might show up as something called spiritual bypassing or disconnected from your daily responsibilities. Now, I love being spiritual and being around spiritual people, but I've noticed when they're overbalanced. One friend in particular told me last minute that before I understood this idea of overbalance and underbalance, she's like, "Oh, I can't drive you to the airport, like I said, because I'm just in my space right now. I'm in my own world." And I'm like, but the plane is leaving. So just know that that's when you're overbalanced, right? Like your head is in the clouds. It's like, no, you have a responsibility. We have to be grounded. I see some of you nodding. So yeah, so you could see how there's the overbalance and the underbalance. Some really simple practices. I mean, again, this could go deep, but I just want to give you some really simple practices. Could be gratitude, practicing gratitude and feeling that gratitude in your body. It could be giving, right? Being in the space of volunteering. It could be tuning into your breath and aligning with it. And ultimately, a concept I work with my clients on a lot is accepting what is, because that helps root this energy, your energy, into real life. And I don't mean accepting in a tolerating way. I mean it in a learning to be with what is, because from that grounded, open place, new solutions can show up. Neuroscience even shows that the calmer our mind is, the more creative and flexible and open we can be. So, with that in mind, I wanted to show you how this all comes together. All these pillars form the foundation for my energy driven success method. And this is really that full spectrum system that supports your brilliance, but at every level. And like I said earlier, when these aspects are optimized, your energy is magnetic. You begin attracting results that are better than imagined. You feel rooted, right? You're grounded in your truth, not what someone else is feeling or thinking. You're real, because some days we're not going to feel good in those areas. And we could say that, "Oh, I'm tired today. I need something else." And that something else, you're being in alignment with your truth, leads you to being more radiant. And so when you're rooted, real, and radiant, what I've found is success becomes sustainable because it's soul aligned. And it reminds me of one of my clients named Liz, who basically reignited her acting career while staying grounded in health and her family. And I say that because she was going to start her acting career after she became, I'm using air quotes, an empty nester, but COVID hit. So the nest was not so empty. And what happened was we started meeting and we were going to build out this whole acting career. And she had to slow down and figure out, how does she build this while still honoring what's important to her, her family. Oh, and prioritizing her health, because for a long time as a mom, she just wasn't doing that. And what was really cool is we did help her get to the point in her life where she ended up on some of her favorite shows like Succession and Just Like That. So it was these pinch me moments where she was able to, again, master her energy so that she can attract these results. And the success started to feel both peaceful and powerful. And that's what I want for all of you, right? It doesn't have to be pushing and forcing. In fact, just one quick example of that, because I always talk about attracting results better than imagined. And one of my favorite experiences is when I needed hearing aids. So it's genetic hearing loss. The long story short is I wanted to get hearing aids. So I set this goal to get hearing aids, good experience with hearing at an affordable price. And I also set a deeper intention. I just put it out there that I'm like, I'd really also love to be an advocate for hearing solutions and sharing what hearing loss is like. I love this story so much. I'm going to keep it short, but basically what happened was I was testing a pair of hearing aids. They weren't really working out for me. A neighbor who I knew her and I pet the dog, just hi. And out of the blue, she tells me, because she saw me wearing these hearing aid devices, she's like, oh, I work for a hearing aid company. And she ended up letting me try her hearing aids and ended up giving me the hearing aids for free. $12,000 worth of hearing aids for free and accessories. So I'm telling you, when you are grounded in your truth, you're real, you're putting yourself out there, you're going to attract results better than you can imagine. Oh, I didn't tell you the best part. I do speaking engagements for them now, and my talks about hearing loss and solution is shared worldwide. So it's just such a full circle moment. And I want you to know that all of this is really possible when you start with you and getting grounded in you. So with that, I feel like I've been sharing why this is so powerful, but I wanted to summarize it for you. I hope you could see that when you're focused on your foundation for wellness, it just gives you energy to keep going physically, right? At our most basic level. It helps you move through any challenges with more ease. This is all about the emotional aspect because life will happen. Are you reacting or responding, right? So if you can be connected to your emotional aspect, that's really helpful. It brings clarity and decision-making strength. So in your foundation for wellness, when you could really tune into the mental aspects and be in a good place, you're going to get clear. And then you'll know the next step to take. And when it comes to the spiritual aspect, if you could tune into it, it'll connect you to your deeper wisdom. And you have so much wisdom within. You have access to it. We just need to keep you connected to it. And the reason I like sharing this process is because these are areas you can actually control, right? We can't control, again, what happens outside of us. But if you tune into these 4 elements, you can have some impact on them. So why not start here? When you tend to this inner foundation, you're going to see how life feels more manageable and really more magical because, again, you're attracting your best results. So with that, I want to help you tune into your inner truth. And what I thought we could do is tune into your truth by getting grounded. So again, I know I've been going quickly. This is all in your playbook. If you have it, you can follow along, and there's going to be an exercise you can do that the playbook will be helpful for, because you can see how you can apply it. So this is just a visual reminder of all of these pillars, and you could use these as basic descriptions to evaluate how are you doing in each of these areas. And just remember, since all of these are connected, right? These different systems are connected. If any of these pillars are affected, you might experience blocks when trying to make progress. So, if we're not mentally clear, it could show up in different areas of our life. If we're not physically in a good place, then we know our emotions could be impacted. I also like to share what I noticed when I was trying to summarize each of these pillars is how the first descriptor includes flexibility, or as I like to say, agility, right? It's like, if you really want to be tuned into this, can you be flexible when it comes to physical? Again, this is about your endurance and strength, what we typically consider energy, the masculine. The emotional, again, is that it has everything to do with how you feel about anything or anyone. What's your general outlook? Do you have what people might consider a positive outlook on life? How are you when you're dealing with negative emotions? Can you self-regulate? Again, this is feminine aspect. When it comes to your mental, can you notice, are you in alignment so you can focus, but not hyper focus, right? We're not overly attentive. Can you be direct? Could you put your attention toward information that serves you, not the thoughts that don't serve us? Again, this one's considered masculine. And then lastly, our spiritual system is about our connections to others, our purpose in life, our values, and really just our connection to the world. And this is feminine. So as you're thinking about each of these, what I would love for you to do, and again, there's a place in the playbook, is tune into where are you for each of these. Rate them on a continuum from 0 to 10. 0 to 3 is you're struggling. 4 to 6 is you're surviving. 7 to 10 is you're thriving. So again, if it helps, you just want to consider taking time to rate these. I think we have a couple minutes. I think we have time if you want to do it now. What I can do though is go back. Just remember, physical is like the basics: food, exercise, sleep, resting. Are you doing great? Are you struggling, surviving, thriving? Your emotional aspect. How are you feeling? Are you engaged? Do you feel valued? Mental. Can you handle one thing at a time? Can you feel focused and clear? Spiritual. Do you have a sense of purpose and values? And know that you matter. I love it. Some of you are typing in 5. Yeah, and I'd love for you to do this on each physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And Terry, yeah, it does depend on the day. You are just leading me to the next point I'm about to make. But yes, I'm going to be quiet for a minute while you fill these in, because I want you, and I'm going to go back to the previous slide, but I really want to make sure that you're not judging yourself right now, right? You're just tuning in to rate how you are in each of these aspects. And if you go to your play sheet, you will see it. Ultimately, with awareness, you can make a new choice. So let me go back to this so you could see. If anyone has any questions, you can pop them in the chat. Next, I'm going to have us do something else. Yeah, I'm reading this that, yeah, struggle with attention span and ability to focus. It's good awareness. Again, when you have awareness, you could start making new choices. Is there something maybe in your physical aspect? Do you need more rest? Do you need to nourish yourself? When you could start understanding yourself better and embodying your truth, or you can start to make decisions to return to your wholeness. Or as I like to think, you can return to your natural light. So you start to trade burnout for brilliance, right? You start going from that person who's depleted to showing up in your full light. And that's going to magnetize results that are better than you can imagine and that actually feel good. So if you want to just take a minute now, what makes you feel that way? So if you commented in the chat, like, yeah, I'm this attention span. What could it be? Are you underbalanced in an area? Are you overbalanced? If you can't focus, that could be an underbalance in mental. And maybe you need to work on looking at your thoughts there, reframing thoughts. Therapy, coaching can support you, inner child work. So I know this isn't enough time to really dive deep, but I just, while it was fresh in your mind, I wanted you to consider like, I'm underbalanced, overbalanced. What could help out? I'm seeing underbalance, currently on leave from work due to occupational. I mean, right. So I think that starts to look at when I read that mental and physical, right? You may have been overusing your masculine energy, doing. What can you bring in to balance that spiritually, emotionally, reframing some thoughts, using emotional agility? I have a 4-step process I take my clients through to help them understand their emotions, be with them so they can gain an insight on the other side. Yeah, Alexandria, totally overdoing my masculine. Yes. Really hoping this is helping. I did this a couple of weeks ago at another group, Northwestern University, and it's just, you see how we are all operating under this way. And it feels good that we're not alone. I'm sad that there's so many of us this way, but I'm happy that we can, at least understand each other, and you're not the only one. So again, I feel like we could go on and on about this, but I want to at least help you, give you some tools to integrate all of this so you can continue to learn about yourself and what you need in the present moment. Again, I love rituals and routines, and all of that's really important, but you also need to know what you need right now. So I'm going to share some tools that can support you. The first one is planning your ideal week. Now, I know we just said, okay, planning, we don't want to overplan, but this tool, again, integrates both sides. And I'm happy to share this with you. In fact, I'll send this via email to all of you as a free gift. But what I hope you can see if you go through this process, and you'll get a deeper explanation with this tool, but it helps you get clear on what you need so you can understand, okay, what do I need in this moment? Who do I want to be? How can I channel my energy when it comes to my whole self? And you'll start to create this vitality for yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually so that you can feel like you're going to experience results and success that are sustainable and really satisfying. And what you'll see, again, there's a whole bunch of different aspects here, but you can rate your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual elements every day. You can list what you need to do, but please, only 3 things, not the long to-do list of 20. I see you smiling. And then, who do you need to be that day? And then my favorites are the gratitude and acknowledgments, because you can bookend your day. I like to do gratitude in the morning and then acknowledgments at the end of the day, because we're always saying what we're grateful for outside of ourselves, but it's hey, what did I end up doing? How did I show up today? Who was I being? And I like to have dream weaving and dream analysis as part of this, which is dream weaving is basically your goals. What are your desires? And dream analysis, if you're up for it, I love looking at what's going on in our subconscious mind. What did your dreams tell you last night? Now, I know that might be a lot and deep, but like I said, you'll get this tool. You could use it, and it can set the tone for your day. I also like using it because even though you need to wait every day to evaluate, right, how you're doing on the 4 elements, and also what you need to do, or I should say, who you want to be in those moments. Sometimes I like mapping out on my to-do list and blocking things out, like, oh, I can't get to this today. Let's be realistic. I'm going to put that on Thursday's to-do list. And then that negative self-talk calms down because I have a plan. Oh, so again, here you'll get these instructions, and you'll be able to evaluate what's going on in your subconscious mind. You'll notice what's going on in the 4 pillars we just talked about while practicing gratitude, not only for others, but for yourself too. And what starts to happen is you shift your focus from, oh, what do I need to do, to, again, who do you want to be? From that place, you'll start to take inspired action. You start to make better choices, more informed choices, and about what you need in the moment. I also have a daily version. I used to love my daily version, but then I was like, I need the whole week. So if you want the daily, just ping me back when I send out the note. You can get that. But yes, I love this version too back in the day. So I want to just wrap up with what I hope you can take away from today. And there's ways to further integrate any of these learnings. So think about it, think about what we talked about. And there's a spot in your playbook you might just want to capture. What am I willing to let go of to honor and fortify my foundation for wellness? How can I be more balanced in any of these pillars? And what will I commit to be more balanced? You can list any practices and tools that'll help you do this. Hopefully, it'll be one of my planners. It might support you. And now you have a choice, right? You can apply what we've discussed for yourself. I hopefully this gave you a good taste of this, or if you're familiar with these concepts, the system helps you see how you can move forward. But I also know that this is a lot of information and there's so much more I could share with you. And I want you to know you don't have to do this alone. It can help to be within a community or have a structure from a mentor or any curriculum that can help you. So if you would like to explore any of this or what you've uncovered today, please let me know. We can set up a no obligation consultation. I call it my return on energy session because it's going to help you explore what is holding you back. And then we're going to start creating that path for moving forward. So we'll send a link in a follow-up email, but I'll put it in the chat too if you want to set something up. Or if you're ready for coaching, you've thought about it before, I have a variety of options that can support you, from private coaching that can focus on career coaching. I have a group program. I also have an online program that you could do as a self-study. So we have lots of options for you. And I also have an option that's newer where I do it with you, if you're looking to get organized in your life and create some systems and processes and a roadmap to help you flow through your day, we can do that as well. And hopefully any of these options would help you experience more aligned success, right? Not just results, but results that feel good. So with that, I hope we can stay in touch. You're going to receive a link with this recording from Marissa first, right? With the play sheets again, just in case you need them. You can schedule a call with me and see how you can implement anything we uncovered, or if you want to go deeper. And ultimately, I just hope that you feel like you have a little inspiration as well as some tangible next steps to have that life you love and get results while feeling a little more ease and joy and grace along the way. So I know we don't have a ton of time for questions, but I could stay on a couple more minutes. I don't know, Marissa, if you can, but reach
Yes,
out.
I'm happy to stay on. Before anyone logs off, I am going to put our survey in the chat. It's a survey about programming and about the session today. So if you do have just a minute, please go ahead and fill that out. Also, I wanted to remind anybody who may be local that we are having an in-person event tomorrow in Evanston, tomorrow night from 5:30 to 7 at the Aux in Evanston. All the information is on our website under events. If you would like to join us, we'd love to see you there. And I just wanted to thank Rosie again for this wonderful topic that's so helpful right before we're heading into the holidays, I feel like. So, and thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it.
Any
But please,
questions?
please feel free to stay on if anyone has any questions.
We're all clear. We all know what to do, I guess. That's good, right? It's true. It takes time to absorb it all, but hopefully it made sense and you have some ideas being sparked, right? Love
It's
it.
funny, Rosie, the I like that you only have the 3 items that you can put in the to-dos, because when my kids were really little, my husband used to laugh at my list because I'd have like 20 things and he would say, you can spread that out. Like you don't have to do 20 things on one day.
One day. It's like, this is the last day you're alive. I better get it all
Oh,
done.
like that's such a good point. Like I could put this on another day.
Right. I love it. I had to create that tool to understand that. I was like, oh, right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
he had to
Mike.
point it out to me before I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Right. It doesn't all have to be done today. That was one of my biggest learnings is, and another way to ask that question is to yourself is to say, what would feel so good to have done today?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because it's still easy to revert back to, "Oh, let me put that fifth, sixth, seventh thing on there." No, if I could get three or even one thing that would be so good to get done, you'll feel good. And then that fuels your next step. Because again, this is the whole idea of energy